What's up, aliens? It's Big Al. Welcome to another sports show. Thanks for tuning in. I know I haven't done a lot, didn't make a show since last week, but I'm going to kick up the content game. We're going to go back to this week, see what happened, 5 quick sports points, and then lists are back. I'm going to kick up my content game again. Lists are back. Baseball season, spring training, pitchers and catchers have reported. We're going to go back to doing lists. So I got top 5 baseball movies for you guys today, so stick around for the end for that. Let's get into it. I'm sure you guys heard about the story of Karen Silversmith. This freaking woman, whose husband, I guess, was the silversmith that handcrafted the first Lombardi trophy, flipped out because Tom Brady threw his freaking trophy boat to boat. Gronk tried to shove the trophy up his ass. All these people trying to disrespect the trophy. And she said that Tom Brady owes her an apology. That's insane. Tom Brady does not give any kind of a shit who you are. He doesn't care who made the trophy. He doesn't care who did anything with the trophy. He's got 7 of them. Gronk played freaking baseball with the trophy 2-3 years ago. He dented it at what's the freaking Red Sox stadium? Fenway Park. He dented it at Fenway Park trying to freaking take batting practice with it. No one cares about this freaking. I mean, people just need to validate their existence. People need to bitch about something. People need to be heard. She went viral and people roasted her. People destroyed this woman. I hope you're out there somewhere not getting your apology, caring too much about trophies. I mean, Tom Brady's got 7 of them. Gronk doesn't give a shit. Tom Brady doesn't give a shit. Hilarious. This was kind of a long time ago, but my number 2 point, Urban Meyer, strength coach. So Urban Meyer, new coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars, college legend, comes in, brings in the Iowa strength coach that got fired for being a racist, pretty much. So Urban Meyer brings it in. Does not go well at all. Like, he resigned within 48, 72 hours. Within 3 days, I think he'd resigned. And the statement from Urban Meyer was just like, yeah, the transition wasn't as smooth as we thought it was going to be. It's like, what do you think? How do you bring in a racist dude or a guy known for making racist comments, old white dude, bring him into a freaking room full of coaches, assistant coaches, probably some of them African-American, and then you're just going to bring him in and 75% African-American players like, oh, this is a good idea. So, nope. Botch that one. Already making Urban Meyer look like kind of a dipshit. I mean, he brought him in, thought he could give him another chance. I guess he was trying to be like Nick Saban of the freaking NFL, just trying to resurrect people's careers, but did not go well. He resigned very quickly. The big news of the week out of the NFL, Carson Wentz is a Indianapolis Colt. Now, my take on this is going to be probably opposite from what most people are going to say because of the past couple years of terribleness that Carson Wentz has had. I think Carson Wentz is going to be amazing in Indianapolis, right? And here's why. Indianapolis has a streak of landing good quarterbacks, and I don't think that streak's going to go away. And you're completely flipping his situation. First of all, you got Peyton Manning. Then you sucked for a year to get Andrew Luck, and then you had Andrew Luck for a few years, and then Andrew Luck suddenly retires. They don't have time to get someone. They go with Jacoby Brissett. He doesn't do actually terrible. And then you get Phillip Rivers for a year, who's a Hall of Famer, just riding out into the sunset. That's 3 solid quarterbacks in a row. You got one of the best of all time. You got Andrew Luck. If he would have played longer, he probably would have been a Hall of Famer. I don't know if he played enough to make the Hall of Fame. You got Phillip Rivers as a Hall of Famer on his way out. Now you got Carson Wentz, who was MVP, like a surefire MVP from a few years ago, until his tissue paper ACL gave out in Los Angeles, and he lost out on it. But everything that was good about Carson Wentz that year is what he's getting in Indianapolis. Good offensive line, healthy. I mean, Costanzo just retired, but you draft a left tackle, you'll be fine. Great defense. I mean, Indy surprised everyone last year with their defense with Xavier Rhodes, DeForest Buckner leading the way up front. Darius Leonard's an all-pro linebacker. You got a couple young guys out there, Rock Ya-Sin. I mean, good offensive line. You got Quentin Nelson still. Their running backs are like freaky athletes. Naheem Hines, Marlon Mack's a good running back. But, I mean, Jonathan Taylor. I forgot about Jonathan Taylor. And then you got receivers. You got T.Y. Hilton is still in there. Doyle's a decent tight end. You got Michael Pittman, who's a stud kind of last year. Maybe get a couple guys in there. They still got the guy Pascal. I mean, I think everything points to Carson Wentz being awesome for the Colts. And I think this was a win-win. They got him for a third round pick and a second round pick that was conditional. The conditions were if he what was it? I gotta remember all of it now. If they go to the playoffs and he plays 75% of the snaps, I think that second round pick turns into a first round pick. Man, if I would have known they would have got him for that, I would have had the Steelers like, yeah, we need to go get Carson Wentz right now. For that cheap, we get him right now. But Indianapolis makes out. I think he's going to be great. A lot of people are nervous. Pat McAfee, I listen to his podcast almost every day. He's super nervous about it. Don't be worried, Pat. I think the Indianapolis string of great quarterbacks is not over. I think he's going to be great, especially with an offensive line, some freak athletes in the running back, and some decent receivers. Look out for the Colts the next couple of years. Defense, and now you got a franchise quarterback in Carson Wentz, who had his confidence shaken, but he should get it right back. I mean, he's already reaching out to his teammates. They're posting about him on Facebook and Twitter and stuff like that. I think Carson Wentz is going to be great. Daytona 500 was this week. 8 hours, or last week, 8 hours of rain delay. Freaking Florida, man. Florida weather, you got... Oh, it was a bad weather week all around, I guess. You got 8 hours of rain delay in Florida. You got Texas is completely frozen and people are freaking out. The whole middle of the country is frozen. It was 60 degrees in California all week, so that was pretty sweet. My other points, I got 2 points left, right? I don't count the Daytona 500. I just mentioned it because it happened. Super Bowl of racing. I watched like a little part of it just to say I watched it. Fernando Tatis, major contract extension, $340 million to spend the next 14 years of his life in San Diego. Win. Big win. I love San Diego. I was just there yesterday. They're known for like their world famous zoo. Not to brag, but I'm a Keepers Club member, pass holder for the zoo, so don't you worry. I'm taken care of. Probably the same as Tatis has when he goes to the zoo. He's got that Keepers Club hookup. Tatis is so good for the Padres, and they got Machado, and then they got Hosmer, and then they got Yu Darvish, they got Snell from Tampa Bay. I mean, look out for the Padres. They're trying to keep up with the Dodgers now. I mean, Dodgers are obviously getting better, signing Trevor Bauer, but I love the Padres. The Padres are probably my second team. That's the best stadium to watch games in, for sure, that I've been to. I've been to Anaheim, Pittsburgh, LA, San Diego. I guess I haven't been to that many places. I'll go to all of them eventually. That's the bucket list, right? My last point, that's kind of my favorite thing that happened in sports this weekend was, speaking of weather, I kind of skipped over it, was speaking of the weather, the NHL played their game outside. They do a couple of annual outside games a year. Then I'm in Pittsburgh, like Colorado, like super cold places. You wouldn't do it in freaking Florida on the beach or anything. But they had their games in Tahoe. It was Colorado and Vegas. They had their game in Tahoe. Tahoe's gorgeous, by the way. Great setup. Everything leading up to it was all hyped up. It's like, ooh, it's going to be great. It's beautiful. I mean, it's cold in Tahoe. There was snow everywhere. And then the NHL straight up forgot about the sun. And mid-game, you got players tripping over chunks of ice that have come up, looking like freaking, I don't even know. That's got to be embarrassing, though, right? Just chunks of ice coming out. They had to delay the game till midnight because they needed it to get cold again. But pretty embarrassing. Just forget about the sun. Forget about our biggest natural heat source. And here we go. Now where ice is melting and can't even play hockey. Step your shit up, NHL. That's all I'm going to say about that. All right. Let's do it. Top 5 baseball movies. Top 5 lists are back. Big Al's top 5 baseball movies. Pitchers and catchers have reported. Baseball season's right around the corner. One of my favorite sports. Let's do it. Number 5, Bad News Bears. The new one. You can't go wrong with freaking Billy Bob Thornton. My favorite part is when he's interacting with the fat kid. Kind of the beginning of the movie. I forgot to do this. I should watch all these movies before I sit here and rate them. But he's interacting with the fat kid, and a baggie full of bacon falls out of the fat kid's pocket. He's like, "Is that a baggie full of bacon?" And he's like, "Yeah." And it's like, "I'm on Atkins." And the guy, Billy Bob Thornton's just like, "What?" And he's like, I don't know. He says something about stop judging me, or I'm gonna tell everyone you touch my pecker. It was like so stupid. The movie's just hilarious. Good movie. Tied at number 5, I've got The Benchwarmers, an all-time classic. Watch The Benchwarmers to get you in baseball mood for sure. I mean, what's his name? Hader? Bill Hader? No, not Bill Hader. John Hader? Napoleon Dynamite. He was funny in that. He's only got 3 funny movies, so that's one of them. You got David Spade and Rob Schneider, always funny. Number 4, Rookie of the Year. This movie, I feel like I broke a couple bones when I was a kid, so I was always watching this movie thinking like, oh, I have a broken bone, now I can run 100 miles an hour, I can throw a ball 100 miles an hour, but it never happened. Still, great movie. Chet Steadman, all-time stud pitcher. Just a great all-around movie. This one, more of a serious movie. I feel like most of these are kids' movies too. But The Rookie with Dennis Quaid. That was a great movie. Angus T. Jones was his son in there. Great movie. I mean, the guy was like 40-something years old and made it to the majors. I love that movie. He's sitting there throwing, what's it called? Throwing bullpen at a car speed. My words are failing me right now. Mid-show, my words are failing me. He's throwing the bullpen at the speedometer, and it's like 69, but then it flashes and goes 98 or whatever. Great movie. Sandlot, my favorite movie growing up. I watched this. I had surgery to remove an appendix. I was 4 or 5 years old. My mom bought me this movie, and I watched it every day, multiple times a day, while I was in the hospital. It was insane. I love this movie so much. I had the biggest crush on the girl from the second one, but I think it was a terrible movie. But the first one, all-time great baseball movie. Number 1, this is my best baseball movie. I watch this every year to get me in the mood for spring training, get me in the mood for baseball. Major League. You got Wild Thing Vaughn. You got the guy from the Allstate commercials freaking doing voodoo and shit. Great movie. The second one's good too when the catcher is like he can't figure out how to throw it to back to the pitcher, so he starts watching porn or reading the porn articles. That was a good one. But number 1 can't be beat. You got to watch it every year. Start of baseball season. That's it. My top 5. Thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate you. Love always, and remember, Iowa sucks.